So welcome back to the channel. So today's chat is going to be about the winter gear and prep that we use here at Motouk UK. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned, we'll be right back. Okay, so welcome back folks. The weather is getting considerably colder here in the UK as it is in the rest of Europe. So what I wanted to do on today's video was just go through some of the gear we use for winter, also some tips and tricks that I use to help me get through winter, keep warm and also keep the bike in tip-top condition. So what we're going to do first, we're going to have a look through some of the riding gear. That will be jackets, pants, riding boots, helmets, visors, and some of the protective gear that we use in winter. And then at the end, we'll just look at a couple of products that I use to keep my bike tip-top and make sure that it keeps rust-free all through the winter months. Okay, so let's talk helmets. There's a couple of things that are critical for me in winter. One is to have a helmet with good ventilation. So some of the helmets that I use, from HJC to Array helmets, all have good ventilation. So this is the carbon RPHA 11 helmet. I have a couple of these. If you watch the channel, you've seen me using these. They have really good ventilation at the front and also a center air duct you can open and close. These helmets tend to blow all of the air up the inside of the visor, so in winter when you've got a hot head inside and the outside of the helmet's really cold, you get a lot of condensation and things. So that's a really good helmet to keep the condensation away. But also on all of the helmets that I always use a pin lock insert, which is like a double glazed insert that goes inside the helmet visor, and that stops a lot of fogging up too. Now you'll notice I do wear glasses when I ride a motorcycle for seeing long distance, so that's always been a problem with helmets for me in the past. So I do use some anti-fog spray sometimes on the inside of the visor and also on my glasses. It's not necessarily the visor that steams up, it's my glasses. So if you wear glasses, you'll understand my predicament and my struggle every winter. So as much ventilation as you can get in the helmet is better for that purpose. Now, one of the helmets that you've seen me wearing recently and also on my big Europe trip was the Array Tour X4. This helmet has more than enough ventilation. In fact, it's the best ventilated helmet I've ever used. And I've found, even as we're getting to the colder months now, when I've been wearing this helmet, I've never had any condensation on my glasses. I don't know how I'm going to feel when it gets really cold, down to freezing, with all that cold air coming into the helmet. So I might switch from this to one of my HJC ones. But this one is definitely better for anyone that wears glasses and suffers from steaming up. Also, with the other helmets that I wear, this one also comes with a pin lock. Now, with all helmets, they all let air in underneath and around your neck. So in winter, I always wear a neck tube. You can buy these from very thin ones to very thick ones that I use. If you can get the thin sillet ones that come up around your mouth and nose area, those are best pretty much for winter. And I do find that there's nothing worse than getting a cold neck as you're riding along in winter. Some jackets do come up quite high, but you're always going to get that cold air around your throat and your neck region. So yeah, make sure you put on a neck tube, it all helps. Now, the other thing that I find that I've been caught out with a couple of times in winter, sometimes I do wear a tinted or smoked visor, whether it be a dark visor or a lightly smoked one like I have on this helmet. What I would recommend is don't go out in your dark visor, because if you are out late afternoon and it starts to get dark, there's no way you can possibly see through that safely coming home in the dark. So I can get away with the light smoke visor. I tend to be able to see quite easily through that, or wear the clear visor that your helmet came with, but that's another tip for wearing any tinted visors in winter. Definite no-no for me. Okay, so on to gloves. Now, there are so many gloves on the market, it's really difficult to choose from sometimes. When I'm choosing a glove, whether it be a summer glove or a winter glove, I'm looking for protection first, and obviously warmth in a glove in winter, but also how waterproof that product is. Sometimes you can buy leather gloves, and when leather gets wet it kind of seeps through. These are some from Merlin that actually got sent to me. I didn't pay for these, but the video is not sponsored by Merlin. I've been wearing these gloves now for about 6 months. These are the Ranton 2 gloves. They're not too thick, and what I find is if the glove is too thick, then it's difficult to control the switchgear on your motorcycle. But these ones have been really good. They've got a cowhide palm just here. There is some leather on, and on the backs of the hands there, it's like a textile material, and these have D3O armour in the knuckles. These have been really good. These have been really warm. I have had these in torrential rain on trips, and they haven't let any water in whatsoever. So it's kind of hard to find the perfect glove. I think I've found it with the Ranton 2 from Merlin. Merlin do make good gear. Like I say, it's not sponsored. These gloves were sent to me free, but these are some gloves that I've tested for the last 6 months, and I really rate them. The other gloves that I wear if it gets really cold, and I'm talking under 4 degrees here in the UK, which we get in late December, January, even in February time frame, I use the RST. These are the Paragon heated gloves, and these gloves are made up of a mixture of leather and also textile material. These are battery heated gloves. And also on the back here, you can turn them on just by holding the button. You get a red light. I don't know if you can see that just there. Press them again, you get a green light or an amber, and then a green for 3 settings. So you've got low, medium and high. I'll just hold that down to turn them off. The batteries in these last for about 4 hours, and to buy 2 more batteries is about £25. I highly rate these. I've used these for about 6 years now. The version before this, and also these new ones, the Paragon ones that I bought last winter. The battery sits in the cuff just behind a little zip, and literally the battery unplugs, and you've got a little battery just there. They're really good. With the battery being in the cuff, you don't feel it too much on your wrist, but it just saves you being wired up to the motorcycle. And like I say, if you're going out for a ride in winter, are you going to be out more than 4 hours? Because that's how long the battery will last on there. But if you've got a couple of batteries spare, 8 hours of riding I think is perfectly ample. Even if you're touring, you don't really ride more than 8 hours a day. So those are the heated gloves from RST. They're the Paragon ones with the batteries in the cuffs. So heated grips. A lot of you have been asking about heated grips. Do I use them? I don't have them on my current motorcycle, and I've used them many winters in the past on other bikes, and I've found them to be a little inadequate really. I find that you tend to, if your hands are cold, you grip on, your grip gets tighter because obviously the bar is warmer, or the grips are warmer, and then it cuts the circulation off from your hands, so your fingers get colder. Today's modern bikes come with them on, and these are from the manufacturers, and they tend to be a little bit better I think than the aftermarket ones that you get. If a new bike came with heated grips on, great, I would use them, but I do prefer heated gloves, because if you have multiple bikes, you can move from bike to bike and you've still got heated gloves. Okay, on to jackets. So these are 3 jackets, winter jackets that I wear. One is from RST. This is the RST Pro Series, the Adventure jacket. These jackets come in 2 flavours today. You can get this jacket, which is the standard RST Series Pro jacket, the Adventure. You can get matching pants, I'll show you those shortly. Or you can get this jacket with the airbag vest incorporated within it from In-N-Motion. If I was going to buy this again, I would probably buy the one with the In-N-Motion airbag fitted into it. I think that would be the best way to move forward for motorcycle safety. I don't wear this jacket enough. This one I used to wear, but I do keep it. And sometimes on tours I will use this setup. But I do prefer another jacket that is a little bit warmer in winter and also a little bit more waterproof than this. It is a textile jacket, so you know, every 6 months to a year I would wash this in some of the tech wash you can get to re-waterproof it. Now another jacket I use in winter, this is the RST Brixton jacket. It's not leather and it's not textile, it's kind of a cotton that looks like a wax cotton. It's really, really warm in winter. Now the jacket's not 100% waterproof, so I'll wear this jacket if I know it's going to be a little bit cold but a little bit finer with no rain on my ride. But that's the RST Brixton jacket. It does come with sea level armour inside as well, and I quite like that one. It's kind of a retro look jacket. Now if you watch the channel a lot, you'll see me wearing this one. This is the Merlin Edale jacket. This is my preferred jacket of choice just now. Merlin gear. I've been buying this for probably over a year now. This was a jacket I bought last winter, and this jacket is really, really warm. It's made of a Kotek material, Haley Stevenson fabric, so it's kind of a wax look to it, but yeah, this one is my jacket of choice. And also it has zip out liners as well. The inside liner is made of a material that was used for NASA, so it keeps you cool in summer and obviously warm in winter. It does come with sea level armour, plenty of pockets and things around, but that's my go-to, and that's the Merlin Edale jacket for winter. So on to trousers. Now I wear in winter textile trousers, and also I wear Kevlar jeans. Now you can get Kevlar jeans, motorcycle jeans, that have a waterproof coating on them, so light showers, the rain will just wash off them and won't soak in. I tend to wear the Bullet jeans in winter. They are 100% Kevlar lined, so they've got a lining in them which obviously keeps them warm, and also the jeans I've found to be as warm as my textile trousers in cold conditions. There's two textile trousers that I wear. One I don't actually think they make anymore, and that was from a company called Hein Garrick. I've had these about 10 years. They've never ripped, I've never had any damage on them. They've got a thermal liner inside and they are really waterproof. They were really, really good, so I tend to use those in winter now. I did buy a pair of RST Adventure pants after I bought the RST Adventure jacket, and actually I bought the wrong size pants, so these are a little big for me. I can wear them, but I haven't really worn them since new, so I think I've tried them on once and then I didn't send them back in time to the manufacturer. So I have a brand new set of RST pants just here. As I say, these are the RST Adventure ones, and these are a size 3XL, and it says 40 on them. I'm not sure whether that's a 40-inch waist. They do have adjustment on the waist and things, but they're brand new, never worn. If anyone's looking for a pair of sand and blue coloured RST Adventure pants, never been worn, drop me a DM, or you can message us at motouk50@gmail.com, and there's a brand new set of pants there. Make me an offer on those because I never wear them and they're a bit too big for me. Now with the jackets or with the trousers, in winter sometimes I do wear thermal liners or undergarments from various different companies, from camping shops. Bike shops also sell thermal underlayers as well. It's always good to wear it. The ones that wick the moisture away from your body are best, but that's another way of keeping warm in winter. Now the other way of keeping warm in winter is heated clothing, and I bought this Kais heated vest last winter, and this one is just the vest. It doesn't do the arms as well, but Kais do one with the arms. It has a battery which is just here, and this battery actually lasts for 4 hours, so similar to my RST heated gloves on a low setting. I have used it a couple of times last winter. It didn't get too cold, so I've not used it a lot. I will try and use it more this winter. This, like I say, comes with a battery. Also on this jacket, if I can find it, you do have a heating controller. You see just there that comes out of the pocket. And that heating controller was an extra cost on this jacket, and just plugs in and pops into one of the pockets. That allows you to put it on a low, a medium and also a high setting. The low setting I found to be pretty good and keeps you nice and warm, but also you can plug that into the kit that comes from Kais. Again, it's an extra, I think, but you can plug it into the motorcycle direct as well, and that will last you then all day on the bike, rather than just 4 hours. But yeah, heated vests, heated gear. You can get heated socks, heated inner gloves, heated outer gloves, heated pants, all kinds of stuff to keep you warm in winter. What I did find when I wore this a couple of times last winter, and then I bought the Merlin jacket, because that's got a liner in made by NASA, meant to be. It was so warm in the jacket in winter, doesn't let any wind through or any cold. I actually stopped wearing this. So like I say, I've worn this a couple of times, but if I was going out in the jacket, there's really no need to wear this, even down to, you know, sort of 0 degrees. The jacket pretty much protected me from the cold and the elements. But because I bought it, I will try and use it more this winter. So this is the TCX waterproof boots. I've had these for 4 years. They're really, really well built. They've never let any water in, and they're still in okay condition, albeit a bit mucky just now. They're really comfortable. Great winter boot, but they're a little bit warm in summer, so I tend not to wear these and wear something a little bit more breathable. The other boot I like to wear, which is more of a casual boot in winter, these are waterproof. These are the Merlin Ether boots, and like I say, fully waterproof. They've got a lace up front, but what I like about these boots is they actually have a zip up just on the side there, so you don't need to lace them up and down every time. You can just slip your foot in, zip it up, and those are a really nice boot. They do these in black and brown, and yeah, I like these in summer, but also they are a winter boot too. The other ones that I've been wearing in summer are a little bit dirty just now, and these are the Alpine Star CRX Dry Star boots. They're a little bit soft on protection wise, I think, for my liking. I do wear them in summer. They are waterproof, but obviously they're only a short boot. If your textile trousers are not long enough, or your jeans, waterproof jeans, then you're going to get water going in the top of them. So I don't think I'll be wearing those in winter. Those are the Dry Star CRX from Alpine Stars, but they're a great summer boot. They're really well built. They're not the cheapest, but I do like them. Now, with winter being a percentage more dangerous than summer riding, and what I mean by that is the roads are colder, you've got wet roads, icy roads, conditions, you know, grit and salt on the roads and things like that, so a little bit more slippier. Make sure you're wearing the right gear. Make sure you've got CE level protection armour in your jackets, your pants. Make sure you're wearing good gloves, good helmet, and all the right gear. And also, most importantly, make sure you're warm and not cold. Now, one of the extras that I purchased probably over a year ago now, just to keep me a little bit more safer as technology moves on, I was looking at airbag vests that you could wear over the top of your jackets, underneath your jackets, and different types of mechanisms like the tether system on your bike to activate it if you fell off, or the electronic algorithm ones that have a brain on board and automatically set off if they detect you're in an accident situation. Now, the one I went for is from Climb. This is a in-motion airbag inside the Climb vest, and in the back here you have underneath here a back protector, which is CE level back protector. Also, you've got the brain box for the device just here, and this charges up via a USB. What I like about this vest is that I actually wear it underneath my jackets. It's quite slim. It does have stretch panels as well, so that if it did inflate, then it's not going to squeeze your body too much. But the main thing why I chose the Climb and in-motion system is, one, I don't have to have it tethered to my motorcycle, so I can ride different bikes and jump off and you know, get on a different bike and ride it. Two, on a tethered system, if you were still attached to the bike in an accident and it didn't pull free of that tether system, your airbag wouldn't go off, whereas this one would. When I looked at different airbag systems, also this one inflates around your neck area, so it keeps your neck safe in an accident, as well as deploying on the back and the fronts of your chest. While it might not be the cheapest airbag vest, I think I paid about £350 for this, and then there's a subscription service to activate the brain on this device, the box that I showed you just on the back just here. I pay about £12 a month on a subscription service to keep this active, and for me that's peace of mind that when I'm out on the bike I'm wearing this underneath one of my other jackets, and if I am in an accident it's going to inflate and help protect me. So for me £12 a month is well worth it. One other thing to remember as well, if you're using an airbag vest underneath any of your jackets, make sure that when you buy a jacket you go one size up, because this needs room to inflate underneath that jacket. So that's what I would recommend, and that's what I went with on most of my current jackets over the last year. Now with winter bike prep, there's a few things that I make sure that happens on any of my bikes, and one is that when I've been out riding in dirty winter conditions and the bike comes back, I always wash the bike before I put it away in the garage. But the main thing that I do is I always dry the bike. If you're going to put a wet bike away, you guarantee that you're going to get water sitting in certain key areas against metal, and then it's going to rust. I've had the Yamaha MT-10 for 5 years now, and there's no rust on the bike whatsoever. It's in perfect condition, like showroom condition still, and that's only because I've looked after it over the years. Here's what I do. So after every ride I wash the bike. I dry the bike with a purpose bike dryer that you can buy off Amazon and places like that. They're not expensive, but just peace of mind that when I put the bike away it's perfectly dry. And if there's any water that's sitting in the engine bay or the spaces that I can't get to with the dryer, I always start the bike and I run it up to about 60 degrees, turn the bike off, and then that will dry any of those spaces out in the engine bay. After I've dried it, I normally give it a coat of silicone spray. You can get that from Halfords or any places like that. Motouk do one. There's various ones out there on the market. I've no preferable choice, but I spray all of the engine bay and compartment and components, or any metal components, obviously not the tyres or brakes, and you know, that just then repels any water, excess water off the bike. But also it aids as a protectant towards when I go on the next ride if there's any dirt or grime trying to stick to those components. The big product that I use, and I've done a video on this, I'll pop a link in the top right hand corner just here, and that's ACF 50. Now this is a product that is an aeroplane grade product that they use on planes to stop rust, and also it binds to the metal on a molecular level, prevents rust from coming back, and also tries to get rid of rust that's in its place already there. My preferred method, and I'll pop a link to it just in the right hand corner here, I use a fluorosol bottle, like an atomizer, and also I buy the ACF 50 in a 5 litre container, and that lasts me quite a few winters, to be honest. And what I like to do is coat the bike before winter and also in spring before the summer as well. So I coat my bike 2 times a year, and that seems to protect the bike from rust as well, just that little extra protection. It's tried and tested. Some people use different products. This is only what I use and what I recommend from me owning bikes over the years and using it on every one of those bikes. Now, a little tip, I tend not to ride in wet weather if I can help it. In the winter we do get some really nice crisp days, so I tend to look at apps on phone, weather apps and radars, to see when the rain's coming. Of a weekend I'm always looking on a Friday to see which is the best day for riding, whether it be a Saturday or a Sunday, and I pick my days according to those apps. Other tip I can give you is if you've got a night where it's freezing below zero and you're planning on doing a ride next day. So I tend to wait till midday, till the sun has burnt that frost off the roads, and then I'll go out on my ride. The last thing you want to do is get caught out on a slippy, icy road. And my last tip that I can give you for winter really is just make sure you check your tyres and brakes. Make sure the brake pads have got plenty of meat on them. Make sure your tyres are in good condition. I tend to use all year round sport touring tyres, and the ones I've got that I'm using currently are the Pirelli Angel GT2, I think it is. They've been really good. They're really sticky in the dry, and they're really good wet tyre as well. Make sure your tyre pressures are at the correct tyre pressures as well. If you're storing your bike for a long time, tyre pressures will reduce, so make sure if you haven't ridden your bike for a long time, just check that the tyre pressures are correct. And the other thing that I sometimes get caught out with in winter is battery. So if I've left the bike for a couple of weeks and it's been really hard frost, sometimes the cold gets to batteries on bikes. My experience of batteries over the years is they tend to, especially the lead acid ones, they only last for about 3 years, then you've got to replace them. You can get the lithium ones these days, they tend to be better. But yeah, I've been caught out a couple of times over the winters with going out after a couple of weeks, get all the gear on, ready to go out riding, press the start button and the battery's flat. So then I invested in a product that I'd read about which really saved my day's riding and didn't cause me too much of a hassle. So I bought the Motouk Boost. Now what this is, inside this box you have a set of jump leads like so. And you also have the Motouk Boost. Now this Motouk Boost is the GB40. This will start a 6-litre diesel truck and it will start it multiple times. As you can see, the size of my hand, size of this device, it's very slim. If I'm going on any trip, I always take this with me. This doubles up as a USB, so I can charge my phone off here. I can start my bike off this multiple times. Even if I didn't have a battery on the bike, I could start the bike and run the bike from here. Also, it has a light, a torch on the end as well. But that's a critical device for when I'm going touring and also in winter. Just from past experience with cold, frosty mornings and also batteries on motorcycles. So that's the Motouk Boost. The Motouk Boost can be purchased online, I think it is. You might even be able to get that on Amazon. Personally, I bought that from Halfords, and they do various different sizes. For a motorcycle, it's probably a little bit overkill on the 40. They do a GB20, which is probably half the size of that for motorcycles. So that's a lifesaver for me in winter. Okay, so that about covers this video. Hope it's been informative and helpful to you in some way. Looking forward to getting out on the MT10 tomorrow and also testing out more the DJI Action 3 camera. So if you've got any comments, drop them below and I'm happy to answer those. And I'll catch you on another video soon, guys. Take care. Cheers.